All right, so we're able to book over 100 meetings every single month across all of our clients with 6, 7, and 8-figure established e-commerce brands. And in this video, I want to explain the 3 things that we need to have in place to actually be able to book this many meetings with this level of quality in terms of prospects. And I want to share how you can use this information for yourself if you're targeting e-commerce brands, but also because I'm going to be speaking on principles, you can genuinely use this for honestly any niche that you target at all. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Ethan Welby. I'm the co-founder of Agency Growth Partner. We help established marketing agencies increase revenue by 50 to 100K a month within 6 to 9 months by building out client acquisition machines. And if you want more information, there'll be a link in the description. I made a video explaining exactly what we do, how it works, and how you can get value from this completely free, whether you sign up with us or not. This will just explain everything for you. And if you're looking to book more meetings, if you're looking to sign more clients, then this is what you need. So to start with, right, we want to book 100 meetings a month with e-commerce brands. Okay. So the first thing that we need to realize is that there are tons of people looking to target e-commerce brands with marketing services. So the biggest thing that stops most agencies from booking the meetings in the first place is not being seen as a unique solution. Right, they struggle to stand out. Like this diagram over here, when you're sending the exact same thing to the exact same people, you're just gonna look like everyone else, right? To the prospect, if you're running a marketing agency and you're offering marketing services to an e-commerce brand, you probably look like everyone else. So what we want to do is differentiate ourselves and be seen as a unique solution. So what I've done is listed 3 ways that we can implement it, and I'm going to explain how to do each one. So the first is targeting sub-niches, right? So if we're going after e-commerce, and again, this applies to any sort of niche that you're targeting. I just use e-com because it's popular and 90% of our clients are in e-commerce. So let's say this is the niche of e-commerce, okay? It's very broad. So the thing is, e-commerce actually isn't a niche, right? It's too broad to be considered a niche. So what we want to do is go after sub-niches, okay? So let's assume, e-commerce is a niche. We'll go after sub-niches in e-com. So for example, a sub-niche would be health and wellness. A sub-niche will be, furniture brands, footwear brands, right? So it just becomes more specific, the deeper we go. And what we realize is that because we're going after sub-niches, what we find is that each sub-niche has their own set of problems and their own set of desires. So while we can say that, e-commerce brands, they all want more sales, okay? A business just wants to grow, right? Unless you're not looking to grow. But in most cases, a business wants to grow, or the business owner wants the business to grow. So e-commerce brands, they want more sales. And this is what most people pitch when they reach out to these brands. They're like, hey, we can increase your sales by this much in this time frame. And by all means, that's not bad, but you're not going to get the best results. You're not going to be able to book hundreds of meetings a month using that sort of, language or outreach or method. So because each sub-niche has their own set of problems, what we want to do is speak on these problems and these desires as well. So for example, let's say a fashion brand or fashion brands in general, they have a high refund rate, right? And no one talks about this stuff. So they have a high refund rate and they want more sales and they want some other things too. So if we can go to a fashion brand and instead of just saying, hey, we'll get you more sales, but hey, we'll get you more sales while decreasing your refund rate, while increasing your profit margins, then they'll be a lot more interested because they'll be like, oh, this guy really understands me, right? He really understands my problems. He can solve my problems to a higher degree than anyone else who's reaching out to the hundreds of other people in my inbox. And this is how you can stand out because you're going after more specific problems, right? So the same with, for example, a food and beverage brand. They might have, low profit margins. So if you could help them make more sales while increasing their margins, while helping them find, a better supply chain, whatever it might be, this will be so much more valuable than the typical, hey, we'll help you get more sales. Secondly, another way to stand out, right? Because our main goal here is to stand out firstly, because we are speaking on what they want. If we are helping them get more sales, this is what they want. But in order to differentiate ourselves, we need something different, right? Right, so the first way to provide value upfront, and just an example of this is when I started with my agency, and I was good at outreach, and I could book meetings extremely easily, right? I mean, you still can, but when I started, I was able to book meetings really easily, but I get onto sales calls, and it would be a nightmare selling, because they knew the outcome, but they didn't know me, right? They didn't know my business. They just knew the numbers that I put in the outreach message. So it was a nightmare selling. But when I started posting content on LinkedIn and on YouTube, what I found is that people who would normally not be interested, they'd be ready to buy. They'd be ready to buy because they've just consumed so much of my content that we've built this trust without me actually having to speak to them. But because I've been providing value in all the content, they already want to work with me. And the thing is, in the past, I would hear, because I was running a lead generation agency, people would say things like, I get messages from lead gen agencies every single day. I get hundreds every single day, but I wanted to speak to you or speak to me because I provided the value up front, right? So I'd post the content. So that was my way to differentiate myself because I'm providing the value and all the other people aren't doing anything. So if you can start creating content around how you can help these brands. So for example, if you help with email marketing and you explain the best subject lines, you talk about the best copy framework, the best images to use in the actual emails, the best flows, and you can speak about this and provide it to the person you're speaking to before they book a call, this is going to allow you to stand out because now they trust, okay, he's providing value, he knows what he's doing, let's talk to him. So you can post the content on YouTube, for example, but the best way to leverage this, and this is what we do for our clients as well, is if they have content with useful information, you can use this in your outreach. So I wouldn't recommend sending it in the initial message, right? Don't do that. But for example, in the follow-up sequences. So if someone replies, they're positive, you respond back, and they just stop messaging you, what you can do is send, for example, a useful video explaining how they can make a change and see improvements, right? These are all things that you can do, all things that you can leverage in your follow-ups, in your replies, whatever it might be. Or when they ask for more information, you can say, okay, cool, I made a video explaining exactly how to do that, right? So when most people follow up in the outreach, they'll just say like, hey, did you get my last message? Hey, bumping this up. And it doesn't work. So imagine you replace that with, hey, I saw you didn't reply to the last email, but I did make a quick video for you explaining exactly how you can add an extra 5K using this email flow that you can implement within 5 minutes. That's one way to do it, right? And then thirdly is leveraging evidence. So in terms of differentiation, in terms of allowing us to stand out, right? One of the ways we can stand out is by targeting sub-niches and speaking on specific problems. Secondly, it's providing upfront value. But thirdly, it's leveraging evidence. Because if we can go to, for example, this health and wellness brand, and we spoke on their direct problems, we provided value upfront, and we said we did this exact process for 5 other brands exactly like yours, then it's a no-brainer. Because the only reason that they wouldn't hop on a call with you, if, for example, your offer is good, so you're helping them generate an extra 70% more sales within 3 months, that's a good offer, right? That's good. But the only reason that they wouldn't jump on a call with you is because they don't trust that you could do it, right? And that's honestly the reason why, if you're doing outreach now, or if you're not getting any sort of, or if you're not booking enough meetings, if you're not signing enough clients, that's the reason why, if you have a good offer. Because if you're promising them more revenue, right? If you're making them more money than what they're paying you, then you have a good offer. But the only reason that they wouldn't get on a call with you is because they don't trust that you can deliver it. So what we're doing here is building trust right? All these things are building trust, because it's like, that's pretty much it. You just need to stand out and have the prospects trust you enough to think it's a good use of their time to get onto a call, right? And have you explain what you do so that they can buy. That's pretty much it. So wherever you can, leverage evidence. Now, obviously, I'm usually speaking to established owners, so I'm assuming you have case studies, right? So I'll speak on what to do if you don't have case studies in a minute. But for the established owners, right, you have these amazing case studies. What you want to do is, and the thing is, what I see all the time is that these owners, they have amazing case studies. They have great results. They just don't leverage it, right? So it's just sitting on some About Us section in their website, like 4 pages deep, and no one ever sees it, right? In reality, it should be the thing you're talking about all the time. So what you want to do is first to figure out the tangible outcomes of what you did for the client. So, what revenue amounts did you generate? This is the best one, right? So what revenue amount did you generate for them, right? Figure this out. And again, if we go a step further and we help the clients create video case studies, right? And we can just they'll just sell for you on autopilot, but let's assume you're not working with us. So what you'll do is get the revenue amount, get the time frame. So rev, time, and then niche, and then obviously the name of the client, name. So we can use a very simple framework for representing your case study. So hopefully this typing isn't too loud. But whenever you do outreach, or whenever you're speaking to a prospect, whether that's via DM, whether that's wherever it might be, we just want to structure it very simply. So this is a typical framework that we use. So it's like, we recently helped a niche company, and then the company name, to generate an extra, then the revenue amount in time frame, and then if you have any sort of guarantee. So for example, on a pay and results basis, right? And that's how you do it. That's how you structure the case studies, and you want to use it wherever you can, because without using the case studies, you just can't differentiate yourself in any way. So in all your emails, in all your DMs, on your website, anywhere you can, get these case studies out, because it's going to be the way to stand out and be able to book, 100 meetings a month. So I hope this was useful. If you have any questions, just let me know. And yeah, if you're looking to get more information on what we do, you can just check the link in the description. Again, this video will walk you through exactly what we do, how it works, how to get started, how to get free value, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, I'll talk to you in the next video.